Hello, all of my burrito buttons. We are going to play the Stanley Parable, which I know nothing about. A bunch of people have just told me that it's a great game, that it's really fun, and that I should play it, that it's a little trippy, maybe, I don't know. So, yeah, we're gonna experience it together. I have never played this before, but this so far is making me giggle. I can see my mouse in the screeny screen, but on all of the screens, my mouse is a square instead of just a mouse. Anywho, maybe I'm the only one amused by that. Let's move on. Let's begin the game. The end is never the end is never the end, or the end is never. Never the end, or the end is never. This is weird already. I already feel weird about this. Load faster so I can stop feeling weird. I'm imagining a scenario in which a face is just gonna slowly, ever so slowly from the darkness just appear. And then I'm gonna hate my life. I'm just gonna hate everything about it. Keep loading. What if this was the game? They're like, the end is never. It's never the end because you're just constantly looking at a loading bar. I'd be like, I give up. I give up on video games. I give up on this world. Nothing is working anymore. Like, no. I don't know how long I would have sat here, though, if that loading bar just froze.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Oh.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
What?
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was he?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
If I type something, will it show up? No, it doesn't. So curious. Okay, I guess I do what I'm told.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The meeting room? Where's the meeting room? Oh god, the outside is just nothing. It's just nothingness. Where's the meeting room? What's the meeting room? In here? No, that's not it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I go on the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh god, is this... This is so weird.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley
pretty.
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yep. Can I actually drink it all in?
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Wow, narrator.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did he?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Why is no one here? This is so weird. Do not jump from the cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her
This is it,
who?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? Do I go in here? Oh, God. Oh,
That's her,
God.
Stanley. You need to be
What?
the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it, voice.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Aw. My wife is fake.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Press X.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
What if I don't? What if I don't press it?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told
I don't want
do.
to.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
I thought I was happy at my job.
Each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
You said I was happy. Ugh. I don't trust you, narrator.
And so he began
What?
to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Okay.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
I don't actually have a home.
Down one path
This is
lay
just
an
my
enormous
office.
round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Oh, my wife.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Huh? I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. No. How long do I have to wait? I don't want to press it. I won't press it. Oh, this is stressing me out. The clock actually works. I'm just gonna sit in my chair. I'm just gonna sit in my chair and not press E. I won't do it. What's in there? If I stand closer to the clock, you can hear the clock more. Oh, that's weird. How long do I...
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine. Okay, I'll follow you, voice. I'll follow you this time. I'll do what you say.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Okay, going in the door on my left is the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Oh god, wait. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. What? Everyone is unique, you most of all. What is hot? Profits, 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 profits. What? colored in segment. The stock market is somewhere in here. A lot of percentages. Work harder. Oh my god, this is just beautiful. Synergize! Synergize is one of those words that I say at the office when I want people to deadpan at me. Not enough, not cost efficient. I thought that said not enough efficient.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
There's nothing in there?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. Whoa, what's all this swanky nonsense? Guess in here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Behind the desk. Oh, right here. 845.
Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What's this? What's in here? Oh god, really? Oh god. This is interesting. This is an interesting game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Huh? So wait, is this just a fantasy that I'm having, like he was saying at the beginning, or am I actually
Stanley walked
doing
straight
something
ahead
now?
through the large door
What?
that read Mind Control Facility.
But oh god, guys, what do I do?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this fall, Stanley would meet his violent Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Okay. Peace out.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright. Come on, Stanley, we got this. You and me, bros for life. Stanley, 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 Stanley.
Now the monitors jumped
Oh,
to life.
yeah,
Their
this
true
is
nature
exactly what I
revealed.
wanted it to be.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Look at all these different screens. This is crazy. They're actually like all different, aren't they? I'm trying to see if I... Oh no, I guess not all of them. Oh, okay, bye.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Employee.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. How do I do that? What do these things mean? Okay. Let's dismantle all these controls, guys. Can I click that? No. Do these buttons mean anything? Do they do anything? Five. What's in here?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power...
Oh, God. That was a very... Huh?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Where
Yes.
am I? Where am I?
He had won.
What's happening?
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned right now that this is all a lie.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Where am I?
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game! Achievement unlocked. But we need to find out where all the people are. What happened to them? Alright. Let's do
All
this.
of his co